I'm here with Saints baseball head coach Mike Davidson and freshman Cameron Cartwright. You guys are going to be playing Colby on Thursday at Brent Gould Field at 1-3. Hopefully, weather permitting, if the winds don't really just kill you guys. It's supposed to be 30 to 40 mile an hour winds, but still, it's going to be really nice. So hopefully, we'll get the game in. Coach, you guys are coming off a really tough series over there with Barton, but really, in all honesty, it probably could have gone. You guys could have gotten a split. Talk about the series over there.
We played. I thought we played okay there, and unfortunately, we let a game get away from us. And in the second game, there just didn't take care of the baseball. A couple plays cost us 500 runs, and you look back when you lose 11-12. We had a chance to sweep them at their place, which doesn't happen very often. And then unfortunately came back home and didn't get a very good start in game one. And we're chasing in that game and never really made a move. And then game two, we just didn't hit, and kudos to them. I thought their game four guy, the game two guy on Saturday, I thought he was probably their best guy as far as just pitching. I don't know that his stuff was any better than the rest of them, but he threw any pitch for 3-0. We were getting 3-0 changeups, 3-0 breaking balls. We never really backed the fastball up. I thought he really did a good job of pitching on that part of it. So, we're still in the hunt. We've got 3 series to go, and we just got to take care of business this weekend.
Yep. Cam, what are your thoughts on the series? You actually had a pretty good game one out of hitting a couple of home runs out of actually taking the team on your shoulders actually and leading them off. And then, the other 2 games you guys could have had a chance to win, as Coach said, just hit there, run there, And then coming home over here, you guys had a really bad wind going in, I thought. And, so what were your thoughts about the game against Barton?
I thought we went into the series, we were the underdogs. They thought they would come in and just sweep us. But I've seen our team perform how we can, and thought game one wasn't the best. It's kind of just a couple hits that got us to win, a couple good stolen bases by Tristan Curlis, and a good start by Luna. And then game two, kind of bats didn't come out hot. Aiden Moore pitched well, and then team the energy was just down. Then we get a couple hits, a couple home runs by Jackson Gregg, and then the energy comes back. Just thought back at home the energy wasn't there, just wasn't what we needed, and no one really came out to play.
Playing against, they're the top team in the Jayhawks. They're actually ranked 9th out over there. What were your thoughts about them? Do you think that they're definitely a beatable team? Do you think that you guys can compete with them in every way?
I think they were a beatable team if we perform the way we have been. Their pitching was not the fastest we've seen, but they had a lot of good off-speed pitches. They knew how to pitch around us, when to throw their fastball, when to throw their breaking ball and changeups. But I thought they were a beatable team.
Okay. Cameron, you've also had a pretty good year this year. You've been sort of plugging and play. What's been your approach this year?
I came in here not exactly knowing where I would play, if I was going to play in the infield or outfield, and kind of found my spot, and just sitting back on pitches, and I'm not getting as many fastballs as it was in high school. It's a lot of breaking balls, so just keeping my hands through the ball and just driving it right back up the middle.
Been so that utility person out over there. What kind of mentality do you have going into into the season or into a game, thinking that a coach can plug you in at second, plug you in right, plug you in left? How do you sort of manage that?
It's kind of nice as a coach to have a guy who can play anywhere. If someone gets hurt and I have to go play in the outfield, it's nice. I'm not the best outfielder, but I can play the outfield. But it's always nice for a coach to have someone like that.
Yeah, his versatility, Coach? It's been really important this year, and also he's been hitting too. So, what do you think?
Yeah, it just gives us different options. You started out playing third and left field and doing that part, and then we had the injury to Baffa and all that. So he stepped in at shortstop and has done a great job for us at short in doing that. And now with Baffa coming back, we'll just have to see where things fall out. But it does give us a different option in the infield where we're not as strapped You know, if Rowan is having an off day, then Cam can slide over and play third, or you know, vice versa. He can slide and play second, or however it works for us. And he does a good job in the outfield. So we've just got to figure out the balance. What's the best option for us? And he's done a great job in the leadoff spot for us. He's a little bit different than your typical leadoff guy, to the fact that he does have some pop in the bat, and he can't hit the ball out of the park, and he's not your typical bunt and run and that type of line, just a line drive type guy. He can get on a ball, and he can get the ball out of the park just as quick as anybody. So more of a doubles guy in the leadoff spot.
Right.
So it's a little bit different, but it works for us.
Right.
At this point. So we just gotta get back on track for this weekend, take care of business, win a series, and move forward.
Yeah, talk a little bit about Colby. You know, what you expect out of them, what your approach is. How do you guys sort of reset from this past game and sort of go after them, go after Colby? At the same time, too, you know, obviously, you know, I would imagine that you guys are going to be tinkering a whole lot out over there. You've gotten this far by where you go, but you obviously want to find two.
Yeah, we're not trying to overhaul anything at this point. You know, we just go back over and get back to the basics of swinging the bat. And like I told them this past weekend, I didn't think it had anything to do with our physical abilities. We just mentally didn't show up, you know, and that's the hard part. It's kind of like pro ball or anything else. You're approaching the dog days of summer, of August, of the end of your season. You know, at the end of 56, it's a long season. We've been practicing for 7 months playing, and after a fall schedule. And so some of these guys, we just got to continue to push on. They've played more games now than they ever have. Some of our kids have never played 56 games in the spring. Some have never played 56 games in the summer. So they're trying to figure out how to get through that part of it. So you're going to have some ups and downs. But no, we're not trying to overhaul anything. We're staying the course. As I tell them all the time, the ball's in their court. You know, it's up to them. I don't get to play anymore.
Right.
We make one or two decisions. We hope they're the right decisions with the lineup, and you dictate one or two plays that, you know, a stolen base here or a hit and run there. And other than that, it's up to them to go out and play the game and go out and execute and do that part. And I think we'll be fine. They'll Colby's not going to really try to put a ton of pressure on you. They don't try to run, and not a lot of stolen bases or hitting and running. They're going to try to drive the ball out of the park. They're going to see if they can set back and you make mistakes and walk people. And they're going to try to put crooked numbers on the board. And so we've got to do a good job of throwing strike one and not letting that happen.
Yeah, Cameron, you know, going into the game, I'm guessing that, you know, I always got the feel that this team, if they play right, if they don't beat themselves, you guys can win every game.
Yeah.
And it sort of seems to be that's been sort of a thing that the coach has been preaching at over there. You know, like the games that you guys have lost, you know, maybe you never hear, picked off there, a wild pitch, you know, things that doing you beat yourself. If you don't beat yourself, you guys can win.
Yeah.
You think that?
I think if coming off of Barton going 1-3 and some getting swept, I expect a different team to come out and a lot different energy. Just the dugout making noise. Starting pitching, I think, will be a lot better, and I expect our hitters to do a lot better and put the ball in play.
Okay. Talk about your season so far, you know, the difference between high school and college. What have you been seeing so far? Your differences and your approach, I guess.
The game has definitely humbled me a lot more. You get a lot more opportunities in college. In high school, games go by quick, and you didn't see as many good players in high school as you did in college. And the game has definitely humbled me a lot. You make an error, the next pitch, ball gets hit right to you. And if you strike out your first at bat, you always have another one. And with the team that we have here at Seward County, we have a lot of really good hitters. Everyone's hitting amazing in conference. So you get a lot more at bats and a lot more opportunities to perform.
So have you had made a lot of adjustments?
I have, yeah. Personally, I like hitting off the tee, just getting the feel for swinging through the zone and getting the barrel through the zone. I don't generally like hitting off of machines. So I do a lot of tee work and just get my bat through the zone.
All right. Okay, the Saints play Colby on Thursday at Brent Gould Field. Game times are 1 and 3. Like I said, it should be warm enough. Just wondering about the wind. So if there are any kind of changes, we'll let you guys know. Coach Cameron, good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.